Welcome to the Valley Christian Conservatory online devotions. We all need an encouraging word and inspiration to be more like Jesus. After watching this video, take some time to reflect on what was meaningful to you and any application of what you've learned. Then share your thoughts in the forum. Write at least 3 sentences and allow others to be uplifted by your comments. May the people sharing and the message they bring touch your spirit and strengthen your heart.
Hi everybody, my name is McLaughlin, and it is my pleasure to do this devotion for you today. I run the dance program here at VCS, and when Reggie asked me to do this devotion, I thought of what is this season that we are going through as teachers and as artists and as people, and what could be helpful, or what message do I need to hear or be reminded of as an artist. So I'm going to talk about perfectionism and how that sometimes equates as an artist's self-worth, and that constant striving and exhaustion that we feel when we are producing these beautiful and inspiring pieces, but we start to equate their perfection or flawlessness with our worth or our purpose, and God actually has a totally different perception on that. So I want to remind myself, because I'm terrible at this. This is actually take number 23 of this perfection devotion. So I'm still working on this as well. So I hope that this is helpful, and I hope that you are able to find some worth in what I'm saying. So as artists, we live in this beautiful tension between beauty and pressure. It's because we feel deeply, we see the world intensely, and we create from places most people never get to touch. And this is a gift, but this gift often comes with a shadow, which is perfectionism. And perfectionism tells us that every brushstroke or every word or every movement, we must prove something, prove our worth, that our talent is our worth. And in fact, in that excellence requires exhaustion, or that the more flawless our art is, the more value we hold as people. But God tells us a different story. God is not impressed by perfect performances. He isn't moved by spotless technique or endless striving. He is moved by our heart, the raw, honest, unpolished places we often try to hide. As artists, we chase perfectionism because we think that it gives us inner peace. But God offers something better. He offers His presence. His presence frees us from the pressure to be flawless. His presence makes room for mistakes, for growth, and for being human. His presence reminds us that our creativity is a gift. It's not a test. And perfectionism demands results, but God invites us into relationship. Perfection says you have to earn it, and God says you receive it without doing anything. Perfectionism ties our identity to performance, and God roots our identity to His love. And here's the beautiful irony. When we stop worshiping perfectionism and start resting in God, our art becomes more alive, not because it's perfect, but because it's true. Art created from freedom carries more power than art created from fear. Art created from rest carries more depth than art created from pressure. Art created with God carries more healing than art created alone. So to every artist fighting the weight of perfectionism, your value does not come from what you produce. Your talent is not measured by your pace. Your flaws do not diminish your calling. You were never asked to be perfect. You were asked to be His. And in His hands, your art and your life becomes something more beautiful than the perfection itself. It becomes worship, honesty, freedom, the kind of beauty that can only come from His grace alone. This is a devotion that I shared with my students, and when I feel overwhelmed by the need to be perfect, I often retreat to the ocean, because the ocean provides this constant renewal for me. So it's called Call to the Depths. Deep calls to deep. At the roar of the waterfalls, all your waves and breakers have swept over me. Psalms 42:7. The waves, a symbol of God's mercy. Waves represent God's mercy washing over us repeatedly. They are ceaseless, powerful, and relentless. Like the ocean waves that smooth the stones on the shore, God's grace returns again and again, reshaping us over time. The tide, the gentle drawing. Unlike the crashing waves, the tide is vast, unseen gravitational pull. It symbolizes God's drawing us gently towards Himself. It is consistent, powerful, and not frenetic. It requires surrender, not effort, to be moved by the tide. The depth, unsearchable wisdom, reflecting God's unsearchable wisdom and beauty. The bottom of the ocean is dark, mysterious, and full of life we cannot fully comprehend. The depths demand our wonder and our awe, reminding us that God is infinitely greater than our own understanding. And finally, the horizon, the promise of God's goodness extending beyond our sight. It is always there, a line of infinite possibility, reminding us to look up from the waves and trust in what lies ahead. I hope that this reminds you that your purpose and your worth is in God alone, that what we create is beautiful and inspiring and purposeful and meaningful, but is not our whole story. And I hope that you're able to remind your students during this season that their beauty is in God and not in just their talent or their product. Thank you. Bye-bye.